The tension here in Chicago is palpable as we look toward the upcoming season. With every choice made by rivals, every big trade on the table, questions loom large. Are we doing enough to keep pace? Will we rise above the shadows of old rivalries? Or are we destined to endure yet another season defined by mediocrity? This isn't just about wins and losses, it's about legacy, about reclaiming pride, especially when it comes to the infamous rivalry with the Green Bay Packers. As the calendar turns towards the regular season, all eyes have suddenly shifted to Green Bay. Why? They just pulled off a blockbuster trade, snagging superstar linebacker Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. Oh yes, the talk of the league is framed by Parsons donning those Packers colors, a move that could shake up the NFC North in ways we haven't seen in years. Questions swirl. How will this impact our beloved Bears? Is this the moment when old wounds are reopened, rekindling, a ferocity in a rivalry that has seen too many heartbreaks for our side? You can feel the anxiety on social media, hear it echoed among fans who've seen the likes of Randall Cobb and Aaron Rodgers rip our hopes asunder time and time again. Will this only embolden the Packers, pushing them closer to contention, while the Bears brace themselves for another uphill climb? Those memories linger, fumbles that cost us playoff berths, missed tackles in key moments, and endless seasons where next year was the only hope left for Chicago fans. But hold that thought as we delve deeper. This is Bears News Fan Report, where we break down not just the news, but the heartbeat of this franchise and the community that surrounds it. If you love the Bears, if you live and breathe the ups and downs of this team, make sure to subscribe and keep those notifications on. We've got the latest in Chicago Bears news that you won't want to miss. Believe me, it's more than just football, it's personal. Now, back to the topic at hand, the trade that has sent shockwaves through the NFC North. While many are wringing their hands over what Parsons' addition could mean for Green Bay, linebacker Tremaine Edmonds takes a different stance altogether. In a recent statement, he brushed off any impact the trade might have on Chicago, claiming, "Honestly, I'm only worried about what we've got going on here in Chicago." His focus is locked on the upcoming game against the Minnesota Vikings. An incredibly pivotal matchup that could set the tone for the Bears' season. There's something refreshing and perhaps a little reckless about where Edmonds stands. It's a reminder that while we're fixated on the rivals' power moves, our own locker room drama needs attention. Last season ended with a disappointing 5-12 record, and there's no time for distractions. Edmonds isn't concerned with the noise across the border. He's focused on the task at hand, where the only game that matters is the one that comes next. And let's face it, it's easy to get lost in the chaos of what Green Bay is doing, especially when they have a talent like Parsons in their ranks. Parsons was a game-changing presence in Dallas and could elevate any team's defense to a new level. His explosiveness, his ability to disrupt plays, and his knack for finding the quarterback are exactly the traits that could give the Packers a significant edge if he delivers on expectations. With our season opener against the Vikings approaching fast, Chicago can't afford to let rival thoughts head into their practice sessions. Yet still, the question lingers. What if this isn't just a minor ripple affected by Parsons' arrival? How could his move reshape the entire scope of the NFC North? As we know, October and November bring more than chilly weather. They bring pivotal matchups that can define seasons. The Bears won't even see the Packers until December. But with Parsons in town, one can only wonder how that duel will play out. Is he going to be the catalyst that powers Green Bay to a deep playoff run while the Bears are left fighting for scraps in a highly competitive division? The stakes could not be higher. The upcoming games for Chicago are not merely steps along the path. They're defining moments where every tackle, every yard gained could either propel us into greatness or entrap the Bears' legacy in another series of what-ifs. So as we lock our hearts in place for this season, we ask the fundamental question: will the Bears keep their eyes on the prize at hand, or will they let thoughts of our rivals' trade distractions disrupt our focus? So buckle up, Bears fans. We may be in for a bumpy ride this season, with echoes of past rivalries ringing louder than ever. And remember, we're here to dissect every moment with you. What lies ahead is still uncertain, but one thing is clear: the whispers of this trade will undoubtedly shape the narrative. Will it push us toward greatness, or serve as a shadow over this season? Time will tell, and we'll be right here to cover every minute detail as it unfolds. Stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride, Bears fans. I'm furious, and you should be too. The icy lakefront wind bites harder tonight because rumors are spreading that the infamous Green Bay Packers are not finished with their ambitions. After their jaw-dropping trade for Micah Parsons, sources in Hollis Hall hint at a shift in attitude among the Bears' front office, suggesting they might be reevaluating their strategy moving ahead. If you bleed Chicago blue, subscribe now. We ride this storm together. What does this mean for the team? Are they huddled in their locker room whispering about potential trades that could either make or break their future? One can't help but wonder if we're looking at a fractured locker room atmosphere. Could players feel the pressure to match the intensity of a rival that just doubled its firepower? Picture it. A trade deadline looms, and Chicago needs to make a splash, perhaps, even considering bold moves to shake up the roster and keep pace in the NFC North. Just the thought of that sends chills down my spine because, let's face it, a misstep could lead to another dismal season filled with what-ifs. Meanwhile, the Packers' excitement is palpable, and their confidence skyrockets under the new addition. One strong season could catapult them past the Bears, making every game feel crucial and amplifying the weight of that inevitable matchup in December. Can we stand by as our rivals beef up their defense, or will it push Chicago into action? What if the front office is plotting a shocking trade of their own, sending a player packing as they seek to retool and strike back? Recent buzz suggests they're eyeing some serious talent around the league. Get ready for a potential shakeup that could redefine how we perceive our chances in the division. While all this plays out under the radar, Tremaine Edmonds stands firm. He paints a picture of a single-minded focus on the season opener against the Vikings. But what does that mean for team morale? Behind closed doors, is there tension brewing between the players in the wake of high-profile moves made by rivals? How will this echo in their performance on the field? Just imagine the Soldier Field roar juxtaposed with whispers of unease, the crunch of cleats on turf layered with a palpable sense of urgency. And then, one pivotal game can change everything. A loss here, a win there, each relentless moment cementing our place in an unforgiving division. The ghosts of past Bears legends loom large here. We have Butkus's grit in us, Urlacher's tenacity. We expect greatness and can't tolerate mediocrity. What if the fate of this season rests solely on how the team reacts to the ominous shadows of Green Bay's power moves? The stakes are stratospheric. It's not just our pride at stake, but our very legacy. So, here we are, approaching the first whistle, and with each day that passes, that question hangs heavier in the air. Will the Bears stay locked in their pursuit of excellence, or crumble under the weight of history and the prospect of another letdown? The stage is set. Every tackle will count. As the countdown begins, the thrill of what's at stake seeps into the marrow of our bones. Will you pull the trigger on a bold trade that could define the next decade of Bears football? The clock is ticking. Get ready for a wild ride because this season promises to be one for the ages.